Don't do it.
F3, stand for fantasy football franchise. Talking about that guy, Hoogie, Tyler every week. Heavy analytics, competition real steep. Whoa, that's sweet. Ho in this belief. Nick so sick, man, bringing ships the whole fleet. Goats, not sheep. Follow every tweet. Don't sleep, always find the sleepers on the street, boy. F3, winning every single league. Money back guaranteed, but it's free. Welcome to the franchise. Welcome to the franchise. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to the Fantasy Football Franchise Podcast. My name is Nick Sigmund. With me, as always, is Jonathan Robertson and Tyler Gee.
Jonathan, you're not in the song because you're not cool.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yep.
just rude. No, he has no words.
No, you're not in the song because when we originally started this, you weren't go with us, and then I just feel bad asking Gabe, hey, that really awesome song you made
Could
for us,
you, add another 30 seconds?
Redo it, start to finish. Yeah. But thank you all for tuning in. We're super excited. Trying to get you ready for week 4. And let me say this, okay? This is important. Check your waiver wires and don't give up. You can be 3-0. This may be your first time listening to us. We're going to give you what you need to win. You don't
Unleash the fury!
I wish we had that as a drop, Nick.
It doesn't exist.
I know. And so anyways, we're here. There's some various websites. They do a podcast every day, and you're like, man, I got to listen to like 5 to 6, 7, 8 hours of fantasy football stuff to get my team up. Not us. 2 episodes a week. That's plenty. We're going to get you ready. Check out the waiver wire episode if you didn't hear studs and duds and just waiver wire pickups. This episode, we're going to be talking about week 4. Streamers. How do we get ready for week 4? Matchups, and kind of going through each matchup and just talking about what to expect.
Yeah. Before we get into the streamers, give a shout out to Hall of Breaks. It's a place to get the newest memorabilia available, from recent signings and hot rookies to new products with classic players. First round picks, the Hall of Fame standouts, the best products around are in the Hall. Daily chances to win prizes with a new series every week. Products from full-size replica and authentic helmets to minis and ice, blaze, speed, and other popular styles. There is some risk involved in this game of chance, so be sure to read the rules of the page and contact the page admin if you have any question. Hall of Breaks is more than just a prize page. It's a community of dedicated collectors and lovers of the game.
Absolutely. And guys, prizes aren't guaranteed, but I'll tell you what is guaranteed. These sexy helmets. They are so good looking. Go on YouTube. Check us out right now. Our whole place, 100% decorated by Hall of Breaks. We thank them so much. But they're just some sick looking lids, man. Like, let me tell you, just some, like, I saw like an old school, like Nick has that old school Tampa Bay, but I mean, it's just beautiful. Some of these helmets.
Gorgeous. So, streams of the week, quarterbacks. Who you got?
My person, it's got to be, this may be hot, but I think it's going to be Eli Manning. I think that he's looked a little rough. He's played some better defenses. He's going up against the Saints, and the Saints have looked terrible in the secondary. I mean, I'm trying to be nice, but, I mean, the Saints have literally just been into a shootout with everyone. I mean, the Browns. I mean, it's just that is the way they want to play, and that's fine, but I just feel like with Eli, with OBJ, I think he's going to have a fantastic game. Who knows if Evan Ingram's going to be there or not, but I don't know. I think Eli Manning, they're averaging something like 31, 32 points per game to the, quarterback position. Eli's definitely on your waivers. A lot of people down on him. If he is on my waivers and if like quarterback is hurt or just things are going up and streaming bums, there are worse options than Eli Manning.
Okay. Jonathan, who you got?
So my stream of the week would be Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco going against the Steelers. Steelers are the second the second worst defense in the league against quarterback, giving up 31.2 points on average. Joe Flacco over the last 3 weeks has had about 889 yards, 6 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to be a top quarterback by any means, but as far as stream, if you need somebody, I think you can expect something like 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think that's safe. So I think ceiling would be 325 yards and 3 touchdowns, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I think Joe Flacco would be a good play.
Okay. I'm going to go Case Keenum.
Okay.
The Chiefs have given up the third most yards to quarterbacks with 362.7 per game and a total of 8 touchdowns. And they've intercepted the ball once. So, averaging that out, he'll get 2 to 3 touchdowns, 300 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a sling fest in that game. I mean,
Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders are both doing pretty well.
They're going to have to catch up.
Yeah.
I mean, against the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's easily going to come out and throw, 900 yards, 18 touchdowns. So, I mean, Case Keenum's going to have to do his job and catch up. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's right. You do agree.
No, you're right.
You are right. So defenses. Jonathan, do you have any defenses you particularly enjoy?
Like, who do I want to stream?
Yeah.
My stream of the week for defense, I'm going to have to go with the Packers. I think the Packers are going to come out and they're going to show that the Buffalo Bills are not who everyone thought they were. I think that Buffalo Bills fluked. The Vikings didn't stop them. I know everybody's saying, probably listening to this podcast in your car going, if the Vikings can't stop the Bills, then why would the Packers stop the Bills? Well, the Packers are a 10.5-point favorite over the Bills, and I just think that the Packers are going to show that Josh Allen cannot catch up. And I think they're going to capitalize on mistakes. So I think the Packers are going to be somebody that's sitting on your waiver wire. And if you need a defense, I would pick them up and play them.
Okay. This is hot. Dallas Cowboys. They have allowed the 11th least amount of yards through rushing, which, if the Lions do the same thing, they'll probably run a little bit on the Cowboys, but 4th in passing yards allowed with 182 per game.
Yeah.
So if they can hold Stafford to a decent yardage, I think the Dallas Cowboys can actually come out against the Lions in this game.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he's known for slinging his stuff, so interceptions are definitely possible.
And I think the defense can definitely capitalize onto Matt Stafford, but Matt Stafford does historically play well against the Cowboys. But yeah, I like it. I think you can trust in their defensive line.
In a 12 team,
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here trying to think about who I would want to go. There's lots of different defenses. The problem is a lot of them are kind of playing, here, there, and everywhere, and you also have a lot of really good teams playing some really good offenses and stuff like that. I think the Chargers are a must start. They may already be picked up. They've had some rougher times, but I think that when you're talking about C.J. Beathard, you also have Matt Breida. I feel like this whole offense is just going to take a step back, and when Hall takes a step back, I think that's something that we got to consider.
So let me ask you a question. If you're playing a defense, a one defense kind of league, and not like IDP or anything, how are you looking at that Los Angeles Rams and Vikings game? Obviously, if you own the Rams, you're playing them. But, do you think that they're an absolutely must start? Like, even in DFS land, you have to play the Rams? after what the Bills did to the Vikings, or do you think the Vikings bounce back and they keep up with the Rams for the majority of the game?
I mean, I think the Rams defense is no joke. I mean, just being honest, like I'm playing the Rams defense now, and saying that I think that in DFS play, like you were talking, people know the Rams are no joke, and I'm just looking for other options. I mean, these streaming options that we're talking about, I think really shine more as far as the price goes for these type of guys, and those type of things. So yeah, I'm firing up all those before I fire up whatever. But if in a regular redraft, if I have the Rams, you have to play them. I mean, also another sneaky person. Have we talked about tight ends yet?
You're about to.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to lead it, you can.
My tight end stream this week, Austin Hooper. Oh, hoop. And the reason why is the Cincinnati Bengals, okay, as of right now, are the league's worst against the tight end. Right now, on average, I'm trying to see here, 10 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown, with 13.5 targets going to, on average, the tight end. Now, granted, it's only week 3, but I think Austin Hooper has shown to be decent in the world of barfy tight ends. Sometimes beggars can't be choosers, and you just got to play the matchup.
I'm looking at all of them. I'm like, I don't know which ones are technically streamable because I don't know which ones are owned. Like, is O.J. Howard owned?
I mean, at this point, he needs to be. If he's not, shame on your league.
Is Will Dissly owned? He had one, maybe.
He probably should be.
He had one good week, a kind of a good week, and a crappy week. So,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, unless you have Kelsey, Ertz, I mean, if you have those guys, then play them. But I'm just saying, like
if Ebron is still, I mean, I would play him.
Yeah, if I would play him, I would play Ebron, I would play Ertz, Kelsey, Evan Ingram if healthy. We haven't heard any more news on him. I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, Jimmy Graham, just for the upshot. Jared Cook, absolutely Jared Cook.
I mean, he goes up and down, but tight ends, Barfy's so bad. I
mean, outside of those 6, I mean, there's 12 people in most teams.
I'll flip a coin.
I mean, you got to start somebody, and if you're one of those people that you're just streaming bums like Will Dissly, I like Hooper better this week, and it could be hot, but I think Ricky Seals-Jones is interesting, but I also think that he had one touchdown, which makes him super relevant. Outside of that, he really wasn't used, but we just don't know about how Rosen's going to play.
Yeah.
So, not a whole lot of great streaming tight ends, which is unfortunate. This year is not a good year for tight ends. Not it stinks.
It's not a good year for anyone, actually.
Wow, Nick just went morbid.
For anyone, especially Le'Veon Bell, poor thing, not getting paid millions of dollars, has to sit at home and watch the Steelers lose. Oh. Anyways, so that's the streams of the week. I mean, I don't.
Okay. Let's go into the matchups, and we'll just talk about our studs as we go along. We need to pick about 1 or 2 that we just really like this week. Nick, go ahead and let's get started. Let's get into the main event and get that going.
The main event.
So we have the Rams playing the Vikings, beating the Vikings 26-23. I think the Vikings come back just fine. What should be noted, both of the Rams' main cornerbacks are injured.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm starting Diggs. I'm starting Thielen. I mean,
yeah, but this is definitely a week to do it.
I mean, I think that before I would have said, well, temper your expectations. But I feel like they're going to kind of get it done. Watch the injury as far as starting Latavius Murray. I'm still not excited to start Latavius, just to be honest, even if I had him, even when I picked him up. Not that the Rams are unbeatable. They're out middle of the pack, allowing 15 or so points on average to the running back. So, and if it is just the Latavius Murray show, could be something.
Yeah.
But I'm not super excited. But I'd be willing to play him. I think you have to start your Kirk Cousins. I know it hurts. Mm-hmm. He hurt you last week.
And also noted last week, Woods had the most targets. He had more targets than Cooper Kupp, more targets than Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is going to be covered by
hurting people.
Xavier Rhodes. Well, he still had a touchdown, so.
Oh no, I'm saying like hurting. Like if you played against Cooper Cup,
Oh, yeah.
you may have lost, son.
He just does it. Goff just loves him, and he usually gets a touchdown. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's sexy.
But,
I mean, you start all your studs there, right? I mean, do you play? Okay, question though: do you play Jared Goff in this game?
I mean, not really.
If you have,
Because he's the only one debating.
So here's the thing: is if Jared Goff passes to Todd Gurley, yes, that's the thing. Like if he passes, if they do a large amount of passing to Todd Gurley, then yes. But if not, it's more of a Todd Gurley show.
Let's also talk about this.
I don't want to risk starting Todd Gurley, I want to risk starting Todd Gurley. I don't want to risk starting Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota Vikings right now on average are giving up 17.6 points to the.
I'd
to,
rather
you
play
know,
Flacco.
Okay, yeah, that's my issue. Is I feel like there's so many good streamable options.
Yeah.
That maybe I'd be looking elsewhere.
Jared Goff, last year at least, he was like quarterback 12, quarterback 13, so he's right there in that streamable option area. The problem is picking the week to stream him, and I don't think this is the week to stream him.
Wow. So, fun little fact: the Los Angeles Rams. Now, granted, this when their cornerbacks, were both healthy. Number 1 against quarterbacks, the Rams only giving up 619 yards total, getting 4 interceptions, and that's right, 2 touchdowns. So Kirk Cousins, even with those corners out, I mean, he could see an upflux, but I would tamper your expectation. I think you have to play him, but I don't think that. Yeah.
I'm not unhappy about it. Just like I said, their 2 cornerbacks are out. Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bad cornerbacks at all. So
They're people.
their replacements are not going to be near as good, and they have good wide receivers.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs, I mean, even Laquan Treadwell is decent.
So just start your studs. I mean, other than Jared Goff, I look elsewhere. So let's move on.
New England is supposed to beat Miami 27-21.
Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree here too. The way the Dolphins.
Miami's supposed to beat New England.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I mean,
I think.
No, New England is favored by 7.
Oh, really? Okay.
all right.
Yeah. New England's favored by 7 points to beat Miami. I disagree, but I think it hinges on the fact if Rashad Jones plays. He did not play this week. So if Rashad Jones plays, I don't like New England. I mean, New England is struggling as it is. The last game that Tom Brady played against Miami, he had 233 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Now, granted, the game before that, it was week 11. He had 18 completions, 227 yards, and 4 touchdowns and interception.
Can we all talk about how also the third best defense against a quarterback is the Miami Dolphins defense, having 7 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, and
2
again,
touchdowns.
it comes down to if they have that Rashad Jones, what is his name?
Xavier Rhodes. Well, no.
Or Xavier.
Xavier Rhodes is the Vikings cornerback.
Yeah, no, it's Xavier something.
I know who you're talking about. It's Xavier Jones.
This is where we need the IDP guys.
No,
shout them out.
Rashad Jones and Xavier Howard. Yes. So if they have that combo, I'm fading Brady. I mean, I just think that the Dolphins are hot right now.
And in redraft, if you have other options, maybe I'm playing somebody else. In DFS, I'm staying away from Brady. I mean, I think that his price is going to be up there because it's Tom Brady, but Dolphins are on fire. I mean, so let's talk about this. Let's just cut to the crap, okay? You're starting Gronk. You're probably starting Brady if you have no other options, okay? Are you playing any of these New England running backs? Nick, I know your answer. I don't play New England running backs. But Jonathan, are you playing?
You play James White.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, so okay. So then the Dolphins. Do you play Kenny Stills in this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
Last
play
week
Kenyon
he was
Drake?
still the most targeted player. I want you to answer this, and I'll tell you a stat.
Yes, I play
Frank
Kenyon
Gore
Drake.
had more carries last week than Kenyon Drake.
That's fine. Kenyon Drake still produced, though. I mean, he's still taking those carries.
I will say this: I'm looking for other options than Kenyon Drake or Corey. And here's the thing: is they eat into each other.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want either of them.
I mean, but no, I mean, Kenny Steele's a great play. Right now, the New England secondary looks like poop. I mean, 6 touchdowns, 550 yards, averaging 29.4 points. Now, this is PPR to the wide receiver position. So, I mean, yeah, it could be Albert Wilson. Yeah, it could be Kenny Stills. Yeah, it could be this guy. But I still think that Kenny Stills gets a taste of that, 29 points. I just do.
Okay.
You know, and so that's something to think about. I already told you my stream. I think, or I didn't. We didn't talk about
Tannehill.
this. But Ryan Tannehill, I mentioned this. We kind of did it off recording. We kind of had a mess up. But Ryan Tannehill is a sneaky streaming quarterback this week. I know it's against the big bad Patriots. I'd rather have those other streams we talked about.
But they're not big bad.
They aren't. They're looking. Not looking good.
And I'm sorry, I said Kenyon Drake produced last week. He did not produce. He did not produce.
I lied.
He had like 5 or 6 carries.
He had 5 carries. He did.
Poop.
I would not play Kenyon Drake, even though the Patriots are bottom half run defense. But the thing about it is they're going to be playing from behind probably, and I mean, if not, it's going to be a very close game. I mean,
they're going to be playing from behind.
All right, next game.
We got Indy beating Houston 25-22, roughly.
I mean, T.Y.
okay.
Hilton, you're going to start Eric Ebron.
Do you play Fuller?
At this point, you have to. I mean, I just feel like you have
He
to
actually
say.
got more targets last week than DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean, you have to stay in the flames. I mean, you start Will Fuller. I think you have to start Lamar Miller and the flex. I mean,
Unfortunately,
I mean that's kind of where we're at. You start T.Y. Hilton. You start Gary Ebron, Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson. I mean, this is a good matchup. I mean, I know Deshaun Watson looked terrible, but
he's been getting a decent amount of points. It's not like he's been terrible.
Yeah, he just hasn't blown it up, and I think this is going to be a good week for Fuller. It's a good week for Hopkins. I think the Colts secondary isn't fantastic. I mean, to me, this is a pretty straightforward, start your studs. I mean, the only person I would say is, do you start any of the Colts running backs? I mean, do you start Naheem Hines or any of these other guys?
I don't think you can really risk it at this point. I mean, if you have to, yes, but...
Yeah, I mean, they're just...
You don't want to. You're looking for other options, as Tyler would say.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing it does stink is the Colts right now are, giving up around 20.6 points in PPR to the running back positions. But the problem is who is it? Is it Hines? Is it Wilkins? Is it my mother?
Do you say the Colts give it up or the Texans give it up?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Colts are giving that up. So, good game for Lamar Miller. My apologies, getting a little crosswired there. It's a long day.
Texans are giving up about 22.5 points to the running back. But, yeah, I mean, who is it? And then is Houston ahead? I mean, Houston can strike fast. And if that's the case, I feel like the running backs get games scripted out.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game, Atlanta beating Cincinnati 21-28. The Red Rocket will cool down. I think this is barring A.J. Green coming in. If A.J. Green comes in, it may be a little closer. But, Tyler Boyd is definitely going to be a start this week. I don't think the secondary...
I want to go against you. I think Andy Dalton stays on path.
No, I was saying, will he? I didn't say
okay. I was like, to me, this is going to be a shootout. It just is. I mean, looking at quarterbacks right now, the Atlanta Falcons are the 4th worst against quarterback, allowing 25 points.
They've lost both their starting safeties, starting linebacker.
And it's noticeable. I mean, 6 touchdowns in the air. Rushing, they're allowing quarterbacks to run on them. And you know what? Cincinnati Bengals, you're like, oh, well, they're 7th against quarterbacks, allowing 22.
They've been in shootouts every time.
And so, I think this is going to be – I like Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Eifert is a play this week.
Tyler Eifert's a play this week. I think Calvin Ridley's a start. I mean, after that great game, you picked him up off the waiver wires. I feel good against the Cincinnati Bengals and just saying, Matt Ryan, do what you got to do, boo-boo. And
Tyler Boyd, Julio
I like
Jones.
Gio Bernard in this game. Falcons are
he did very well last week.
Falcons, I think, are 7th worst in the league, giving up 30.7 points to the running backs on average. Gio averaged 5.1 yards per carry, had a touchdown. I mean, I think they can keep it close and keep the run game going.
Falcons right now are fifth against the run, allowing 23.4 points. This is PPR, mind you, but I mean, it's the Giovanni Bernard show. So I mean, I think once again, I'm just going to repeat it. It's a shootout, and I would play Tevin Coleman, Giovanni Bernard. I'm playing all of them. I don't know if anybody I'm sitting in this game.
Yeah. Next game, Green Bay beating Buffalo 27-17. I guess Buffalo can get 17 points. No, after last week, I think they can get to 17. Green Bay doesn't have the best defense.
They got
as
a middle
we
of the
saw
pack.
last week.
Middle of the pack. I mean, they had a rough week last week, but I think they're a little bit better than people give them credit for.
Yeah. If Aaron Rodgers starts and everyone's healthy, basically, I think 27 points is reasonable. I mean, you start Devontae Adams, obviously.
You start Aaron Rodgers.
You start Jimmy Graham because
You kind of have to.
do you start a running back for the?
Depending
Aaron
on who I
Jones.
have, I like Aaron Jones.
Yeah, you would.
I do.
It's a
Do you
sneaky
start
play.
a Buffalo player?
Okay, question. Do you play Chris Ivory or Aaron Jones this week?
If LaShawn McCoy's not back, I'd rather have Chris Ivory.
I would rather have Aaron Jones.
Do I smell a beer bet? Do I
Can
smell
I
it?
put
Yeah. With Chris Ivory.
with the caveat that LaShawn McCoy is not
yes,
playing?
if LaShawn McCoy plays, then all bets are off. But if LaShawn
Okay,
McCoy does
that's
not
fine.
play,
It's fine.
Yeah.
all
Just
right,
bring some
deal.
beer
I like
other
it.
than Paps. I'd rather not have a Paps. Maybe like a
Pap is-
Guinness.
Pep
No.
is
I'll take some Pappy.
Peppy Van
Pappy?
Winkle.
Yeah, I'll take some Pappy.
Got it.
Don't threaten me
Uh,
with a good time.
Dallas is supposed to beat Detroit 23-20.
Are they though?
I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, that's kind of
Man,
how I feel.
that's coming from a Cowboys fan. So y'all best. Yeah, I mean, you start Zeke. Do you start Dak in this game?
No.
I-
Do you start the tight end
Jeff Swain.
No,
Swain?
no. I'm playing Zeke. I mean that is who I'm playing. I mean, with the quarterback with Dak, there's this better streamable option. I mean, everyone we talked about streaming Case Keenum, Eli Manning, all those options are better than Dak right now. I mean, it really is. Like, as far as fantasy goes, and I mean, as far as the
So,
Lions go,
here it
you're
is.
playing Matthew Stafford.
The Lions. Oh, never mind. That's the wrong one. Dallas Cowboys give up 182.7 yards per game through the air. Can you confidently play Galladay? Can you confidently play Tate? Can you confidently?
Well, I
play
don't
Marvin
know.
Jones?
I think you have to play him, but I think you have to temper your expectations. And I think out of all of those, if you were to tell me to sit one, I almost would be more tempted to sit. I would almost be tempted to sit probably Jones, just because Galladay's been doing it so much.
They've only allowed 3 touchdowns through the air this season as well. So
Yeah, I mean, and
I think this is the Kerryon Johnson breakout game. If the defense, the Cowboys defense through the air is this strong,
so you're playing Carry On this week.
I'd play Kerryon this week.
I like it. I
Yeah,
mean,
they give
he
up on
looked
average
great.
98.3 yards.
I'm not mad at it.
And that's with Christian McCaffrey being one of the running backs who
Yeah.
doesn't really run. He actually catches.
And real hitting analysis from Nick there. But yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I like Carry On. I think you play Matthew Stafford. I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, he's a start every week.
yeah, I mean, temper your expectations. But I'm playing Galladay. I'm playing Tate. I'm not going to just cry. It's not a great matchup, but I'm playing him. Jones is that fringe, like, it depends on who else I have.
Okay. Jags are supposed to beat the Jets by a certain amount, 15-22. I look at it. I had Jonathan put this in here. I'm like, all right, what's this mean again? Okay. So obviously, if Leonard Fournette's playing, which I think he should be by this week, you're gonna play him. TJ Yeldon will obviously sit the bench on your team at that point. I don't think you can really rely on him to beat even a flex spot. Bortles.
You just got to – the Leonard Fournette news, I think he plays this week.
Yeah. I started TJ Yeldon like 5 minutes before the game started.
I hate you. Oh, you want to talk about some real sneaky plays? I did a trade in a Dynasty League that I'm completely gutting. This team sucked. So I'm literally just yard sale. And because of this, I had to figure out what to play somebody. So I was like, you know what? I'll just play Wendell Smallwood. Whatever. Got me 20-something points, and it won me the week on this awful team. And I was playing Matt Spencer, who does our website. Sorry, Matt. Much love. But
Yeah, I played Clement in DFS, and I was like, damn it.
Wendell Smallwood was just in the back, going crazy. And I was just like, all right, I guess so.
I guess. Jets players, you play Quincy?
With the volume, you have to. I mean,
I don't.
I know it's
The
the
Jags
Jaguars.
defense, I mean, their secondary is too strong for this. I'm not playing any.
It's over 9,000.
The power level is over 9,000. I'm not playing them.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather play Quincy or Kenny Galladay?
Kenny Galladay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Quincy or Golden Tate?
Golden Tate.
Quincy or Marvin Jones?
Quincy.
Marvin Jones.
All right. I was just thinking about that.
I'd just rather risk on Quincy. I think more than likely Marvin Jones will get the points, but Quincy has a higher ceiling and a lower floor.
Fair.
So a bigger house?
Yeah.
Got it.
Next, we got Philly beating Titans. Looks like, I'm going to guess, 18-22.
Monitor, also on Sunday mornings, Jonathan does the Periscope. Jay Ajayi is still just like day-to-day question mark, so I don't, yeah. And if so, I mean, who do you play? Do you play Wendell Smallwood?
I mean, after last week, I guess so.
Just,
I mean, it's either Clement or Smallwood, and after last week, I guess it's going to be Smallwood. I thought it was going to be Clement. Obviously, I'm wrong.
what? The funny part was Nick just, like, dude, I don't know what the, like, it's Wendell Smallwood, like, but I mean, I agree. I will say, though, the Tennessee Titans, third best against the run.
I think the Titans win this game.
Not allowing it. They're just not letting it happen. I may be avoiding this whole backfield. I mean, if Jay Ajayi's out, and even if Jay Ajayi is, I just worry that I think they're going to put it in Carson Wentz's hand. I think that, the Eagles aren't allowing people to run against them. The Titans aren't allowing people to run against them.
If I had to, I'd do Smallwood because a lot of his work was receiving work.
Yeah, that's fair. But even then, like the Tennessee Titans have allowed 11.3 points, 11.4 points on average to running backs. But if you're talking about splitting that between Clement, Wendell Smallwood, and who knows if Darren Sproles or Jay Ajayi get in there, that's just not a lot to go around.
Yeah, if one of those two are healthy, I'm not touching this.
Yeah. So, I think you're going to see a
Titans,
lot in the air.
Do you start Marcus Mariota this week?
Not
I'm not.
happily, no.
I'm still not going to start him.
They said today that he was still having trouble throwing different throws. So.
They don't have to tell me that. I saw it. I mean, he doesn't look good. Like I keep waiting for Marcus Mariota to get it together. And his first or second year, he started having flashes, and we're like, okay, take the next step, and he just hasn't.
No.
And I just keep seeing myself every time I have Marcus Mariota on a team. I end up dropping him and streaming dudes, like just being like, well,
Just any old dude.
you say that, but Ryan Fitzpatrick was any old dude at one point. I think Eli Manning outdoes.
He's going through the cycle.
Don't doubt the magic.
What? Oh yeah, the
Don't
Ryan
doubt the
Fitzpatrick.
magic.
Tell him about the Ryan Fitzpatrick cycle.
I don't have it up anymore.
You do good. Okay. The main quarterback gets injured. Fitzpatrick goes in, does amazing, gets paid, wins the job.
Starts sucking.
Gets released. Gets signed
again.
somewhere. The main quarterback gets injured. He steps in, does awesome.
Yeah, it's a full circle.
I think if you're a main quarterback and Ryan Fitzpatrick gets picked up on your team,
crap.
you're like, God, what am I going to hurt?
And I'm just going to say at Tampa Bay, like Ryan's like, I'm going to get paid. They're like, we know this rule. I'm not paying you.
I don't think they can. They don't have the money. No, seriously, they have to sign so many people. There's no way they can pay Fitzpatrick.
I'm picturing the remember that old Geico commercial with the guy with the fishing pole with $1 on the end of it? Oh, you're going to have to work a little harder. Got to catch it. Work a little harder.
So Seattle is supposed to beat Arizona, but it's supposed to be close.
Yes.
Is Seattle just a dumpster fire at this point? Okay, well, Chris Carson got like 32 carries.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I was talking to my brother about this last night. 32 carries, and he still only barely eclipsed 100 yards. I mean,
It's because their O-line sucks.
I'm going to say
Like-
it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You ready? Chris Carson is a sneaky start this week. The Arizona Cardinals are dead last against the run.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Just saying.
They did play Todd Gurley.
I mean, that is true. And I mean, when we're in week 3, information can be skewed.
now, Jordan Howard, though, did have 24 attempts, 61 yards, and a touchdown, though. Like, that's still pretty good. I mean, and then, so
I think Chris Carson's a flexible option.
He is a flexible option.
I'm avoiding him.
I'm not excited about him, but he's a
Fine.
sneaky DFS play.
I'm avoiding him. 32
Fine.
carries. I want you to have over 100 yards. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you want it, but
So
you can't get what
sad.
you want all the time.
all right, Dr. Pepper.
Other than that, I mean,
what you
you start
want.
David Johnson. Do you start Kirk?
I want to see it again.
Okay.
I like him, but I want to
What
hold. I
about
want to
Fitzgerald? Only 2 catches.
hold.
And here's the thing. I read this today.
No, you
Christian
didn't.
Kirk, he's going to end up being a start, and it's going to be purely off garbage time. And it's because this chemistry has already been made with Christian Kirk and the quarterback coming in. It's going to be that rookie-to-rookie connection. It's going to be a lot of safe throws to Christian Kirk when they're far behind. Yeah, I mean, eventually I think he's going to be
This whole offense though with Josh Rosen is going to be a whole different dynamic. Larry Fitz, unfortunately, I'll probably end up playing, but it also depends on my team, what kind of options I have. I hope
Yeah.
they get it together. I mean, because there are some real fantasy assets on this team. Larry Fitz, David Johnson. I mean, there are some real players that I really want to see shine, but it's just so hard to trust them right now.
Yeah, and it's like Brandon Marshall. I don't really want to play him, but if I have to stream him, I guess I will this week. I just don't want to.
You play Doug Baldwin?
Is he
Is
playing
he
this
back?
week?
I don't know
Okay.
if you'd play him or not.
I was like, whoa, what news did you hear? Next game, we got Chicago for some reason beating Tampa by like a field goal. It's going to like 22-25. I think Godwin might be a sneaky pick here, and it's because Khalil Mack is going to be all down Fitzmagic's throat, and he's going to want to throw it to the slot position.
You dirty slot.
You dirty, dirty slot.
I will say the Bears, although they have a great defense, it's a lot more pressure on the quarterback. They are not as high. They're about middle of the road against the wide receiver, 10, 12 range, just kind of looking at it. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, that's fine.
My only worry is that Fitz is going to throw. He's going to be under pressure. 2 seconds. Throw the
I
ball
will
up.
not, under any
And Deshaun
circumstances.
Jackson is just going to run 30 yards down the field, catch the ball, touchdown.
I actually have the Bears as the 4th worst against the receiver with 49.2 points on average. They've given
On
up
average.
Yeah, they've given up
42 points?
49.5. They've given up 439 yards on 31 receptions and 4 touchdowns.
On average.
Now that's like, across the whole wide receiver core.
Wait, 4 touchdowns on an average? I don't
no,
think that's
it's
right.
total.
Okay.
That's total. 49.5 is the average point scored with the whole wide receiver core.
Oh, see, I have their average is 26.2. I'm on fantasy football. I'm in the NFL. I feel like 49
Against-
points on average?
Now, granted, this has not calculated in the Arizona game yet, but yet because Seattle, they gave up a total of 32 points, and against Green Bay, they gave up a total of 66.9 points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
see,
was a
mine
big
also
point
includes
game.
week 3.
So, but, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Arizona
but,
also sucked.
I agreed, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I
we
mean,
can guesstimate. I'd say 40 points through the air is average. If you can kind of squish those two, 35, 40.
Sure. I feel like that's a little. I would just use. The
I'm using my
most
box
accurate
and
one.
whiskers.
I would just use the one that has the week 3's information on it.
Yeah, but I'm including the fact that Arizona sucks as part of my average.
And
that
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers is really
gold.
good, so that balances each other out.
Yeah, it'd be 35.
26 points and 45 points.
But also keep in mind, though, Tampa Bay's quarterback has outperformed Aaron Rodgers in almost every week.
That's fine. I will say this, though. I would not start Peyton Barber under any circumstance.
No.
I wouldn't start a single running back for the Bucs.
And it's not even just because they're bad. It's also because, like, the Bears. Now, I know this is going to look different on your end because you like to use old information, but I like to use accurate ones. Is second against the run. So, allowing 9.8 points to the running back on average, on all running backs. Fun fact, there has been a grand total of 152 yards in 3 games against the Chicago Bears on the ground.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Now, granted, it was the Packers who don't have an established run.
The
but
Bucs
the Bucs
don't have an established
run either. So I would not start them.
Until they signed Le'Veon Bell at the beginning of the week.
Before we get into the next team, just want to throw out a shout out to Sports Bracketeers, a daily fantasy sports company that makes a unique bracket format of DFS. Users enter a contest and advance through a contest bracket by answering statistical questions in a head-to-head format. And I mean, it's just like March Madness. You get into a bracket, you play your friends, play whoever. And I mean, you pick things like how many yards will some player play, how many rushing yards, how many passing yards, receiving touchdowns.
And it's head-to-head. Some are free, too. Free to enter. So you might as well make an account, get in the free contest. You can win real money for free. So you might as well jump in on there.
For free.
Also, guys, we also want to take a moment, too, and just say, hey, thank you so much, Hall of Breaks, for sponsoring our podcast. Hall of Breaks is also one of our, our fantastic little finds. Nick, tell them about Hall of Breaks, too.
We already did.
Did we?
Yeah.
I just love Hall of Breaks, man. You just like some Hall of Breaks. I will say this: we're giving away the Deshaun Watson mini helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing we're giving away. We're giving away an Antonio Brown Funko Pop. That one you just got to retweet and follow us. It's simple.
It's that simple.
Just follow us at F3Pod. Retweet the little thing that we send out about it. Yahtzee.
And now for the people like me, would you explain what a Funko Pop is?
It's one of those big head
Jonathan,
things.
we have some in our studio.
I don't know. I call them bobbleheads.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Oakland is supposed to beat the Browns.
Millennials.
I don't know. I got the Browns in this game.
22-25.
Yeah, I mean, look, once Gruden starts, showing them actual tape and not tape from the first Super Bowl, I'll start taking Oakland. But
okay, so do you? Okay, let's just get through this. You play Carlos Hyde.
I don't play a single person on Oakland.
not
You don't even play Amari Cooper.
What about Jordy
No.
Nelson?
No.
What
Do it
about
again.
Jared Cook?
What
Do
about
it again.
Jordy Nelson?
Jared Cook.
I'll play Jared Cook if I have to, if he's my streaming tight end.
No, I'm playing Jared Cook.
But what about Jordy Nelson?
He did it once.
All the greats at least did it once.
Yeah. I had a really
And then they
long...
repetitively did it over and over and over.
The Browns, I'm starting Jarvis Landry. I'm going to start Carlos Hyde. I'm going to start Baker Mayfield.
You starting Callaway? Why not?
In a big enough league, yes.
I'll say this though about Jared Cook. Browns are third in the league against the tight end. So
Third worst or third best?
Third best. So they shut down that tight end. They ain't having it.
There you go.
So
Boom. And no, I'm not starting David Njoku unless I have to.
The Browns are giving up 42.4 points on average to the wide receiver
according to weeks 1 and 2.
against weeks 1 and 2.
Yeah, week 3 is for losers.
We have not calculated that in yet.
Why don't you just go to this website, which has week 3 calculated in as well?
Here's my thing, though. No wide receiver. Amari Cooper. Jordy Nelson. Actually, it went Jared Cook.
I don't understand.
Then it went Amari
this.
Cooper.
Is this your
then
tiers?
Then it went Jordy Nelson. No, this is the player you're playing. It changes every week. I'm not going to gamble on that. I'm not going to gamble
Do
on
you
getting
start
2
Derek
points
Carr?
first 20 minutes. No.
All right. Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Now, he's done it every week.
I'll play Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch, Jared Cook. That's about it.
Don't
for
treat
Nick.
him like he's a charity case. If you don't want to start him, you don't start him.
You start him with passion, Nick.
Chargers are supposed to destroy the 49ers. Obviously, Garoppolo's out, so that's a factor.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen, Gordon.
I'd
all
start
of
Mike
them.
Williams.
He's been doing it. It's been looking good. I think Eckler is a sneaky play. I mean, he's been doing it, and not only that, but I mean, I think they're going to be up again. And I think that why give a ton of carries to Melvin Gordon when you can just be like, Eckler, just go out there and do things when we're ahead.
Could.
I think he's a sneaky play.
I'm not loving it, but I'd do it if I had to.
Okay.
49ers. I mean, Matt Breida, Alfred Morris.
Matt Breida, I think you have to play. And George Kittle.
Yeah.
Just because of the
I'm
barfing
not
tight
doing the
ends.
wide receivers yet. Not.
I don't play Matt Breida. I don't play any of the running backs because I just feel like they're going to be playing from behind. I mean,
Yeah, but
But are they going to pass it and throw an interception?
yeah, that's the thing. It's not that I agree. I think they're going to be playing from behind. But I mean, what else do they have?
I just see like Matt Breida getting like 11 carries and then game scripted out
And
the
it
rest of
could.
the game.
He could very well. I mean, I don't think that is wrong, but I agree. I don't love Matt Breida, but I think that I'm okay playing him.
Saints are supposed to be the Giants 22-23. I agree.
I think the Saints will win by a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
more.
think it's a shootout. I do. I mean, it's going to be a good old fashioned what the Saints do: show up. Drew Brees throws 1,000,000 touchdowns, and the Giants defense isn't great.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think Lattimore can hold Odell Beckham Jr. because
No.
Odell Beckham Jr. is a speed guy.
So OBJ, I think, has a great game. I think that Sterling Shepard here has a good game. I think Evan Ingram, if he plays, I think Barkley has a great game. I think Michael Thomas has a great game. I think
Alvin Kamara is going to have a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not starting Cameron Meredith. He had 1 touchdown, which made him relevant. Nope.
No.
I'm not really starting. I might start Ted Ginn. He's a good deep.
Yeah.
If I have to play somebody, I'm okay with playing Ted Ginn.
I'm behind that.
All right.
Ravens are supposed to lose to the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to continue their 4-game base winless streak.
Well,
Barring
as of
that they
right now,
lose
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
No, they're losing tonight.
Well, they did just intercept Big Ben, so
Yeah.
You mean Fitzpatrick?
no.
So the Steelers just intercepted Big Ben?
No.
They intercepted their own ball.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just intercepted Big Ben.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's because they suck.
All right. So I mean, yeah. I mean, that's something to consider. I mean,
you're going to play James Conner. You're going to...
Antonio Brown, Juju. You play these people. You're happy. Do you play?
I'm playing Crabtree. I'm playing John Brown.
Okay.
Because the secondary is
Then we
not the
talked
best.
about Flacco. So move on.
Yeah. Buck Allen. You were talking about Buck Allen last episode for
Yeah.
the Ravens.
You were.
I was. I might be interested. I mean, it deeper league, barring injury, depends on who's there. I'm not against it. I really am not.
Okay.
So,
All right. Chiefs are supposed to destroy the Broncos 25-30.
Oof.
The Chiefs don't have a good passing defense, so Emmanuel Sanders, Demarius Thomas,
Yep. Fire
definite
'em up.
starts. Case Keenum, I think, is a good start this
We
week
talked about
because
a
of that.
stream.
And then, I mean, you're going to start all your studs for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes.
I'm starting Royce Freeman again this game.
Yeah. Right
I mean,
now.
if Lindsey's
right
out,
now,
definitely.
Lindsay.
That was the turning point. I told you there was going to be a turning point, and it happened.
He
And
still didn't
not
do
only that,
great.
But the second worst against the run is Kansas City.
He didn't do great. He still had over 4 yards per carry. He just got
my
game
gosh.
scripted out because they were playing from behind. You're talking about the Chiefs, which yes, it's just week 1 and week 2.
So you're going
but
to
they
game
gave up.
script from behind
They're
again.
one of the worst teams against the running back.
I'm fine, okay, playing Royce Freeman, especially if Lindsay's out. I mean, yes, they are one of the worst teams against the running back,
Well,
but you also got to make the point and honor the point that Nick's making, is that he got game scripted out because they were behind. Patrick Mahomes is going to make a lot of teams behind this year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
Suck it.
I'm playing Tyreek Hill. I know that I'm not, and I'm willing to play Hill, or not Hill, but Sammy Watkins. I mean, I'm not excited Like I'm not jumping for the joy.
I'm not doing it. I am forever not playing Sammy Watkins.
Why?
Just like the Patriots running backs. I'm just not going to do it.
But the Broncos, I know they get credit for having a great defense, but their passing defense is middle of the road type area.
I mean, you're talking about the Steelers. He had 100 yards, 6 receptions. Then against the 49ers, he had 55 yards, 5 receptions, and a touchdown. And you're talking about the guy who is slinging touchdowns like crazy. I mean, it's just like, why not take a chance of throwing my fishing pole in this hole where fish are biting like crazy?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like Patrick Mahomes has set ablaze. He's going to naturally set other things by ablaze with him. I mean, that's just...
I'm tired of you disagreeing with me, Nick.
I really thought something fell there. Nick's like... Anyways, all right.
Start Sammy Watkins.
Okay. I was just
He's very passionate about this, Nick. He's going to trade you Sammy Watkins for free just so you can start him.
Who'd you play this week? Sammy Watkins or Amari Cooper?
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, that's right. Because Amari Cooper's not going to do
But
anything.
Who's better, Mario or Luigi? Come on.
Luigi.
Balls.
He's taller. He can hit the boxes easier.
Balls. He's only good because of Mario's lead.
Who is Mario and who is Luigi?
Sammy Watkins is obviously Mario.
Okay.
I'm just going to send us out. That's not sending us out.
It's like you just pushed a
That's
button.
sending us out.
Nick's learning how to button. Guys, be sure to tune in next week.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Football Franchise
Don't.
Podcast.
Get in our
And follow
free
us
stuff.
at F3 Pod.
No. Peyton Barber, 18 yards.